Car Con Carne backstage at Riot Fest 2019. Car Con Carne is presented by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston, 1015 Chicago Avenue. I drove here in a Mazda 6 from the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston because on my way to Riot Fest, I wanted to feel as though I were driving in luxury. So I'm recording this the morning of day 3. Last night, toward the end of day 2, it was Rise Against, the returning heroes Rise Against on stage. I can't even calculate the amount of bodies that were on the field last night. It was insane. What a great night for Rise Against. What a great night for Chicago. What a great night for Riot Fest. And before it all happened, I had Joe from Rise Against returning to Car Con Carne.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
All right, so last time I saw you was at the Chicago Theater, the Ghost Note show.
Yep.
What an eye-opening night that was of music. What a cool, unexpected, glorious night of live music that was.
You know, that experience, it was very unexpected to us. I didn't know how people were going to react. There were people that didn't know it was acoustic.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Tim even acknowledged that on stage.
Yeah, and it was super fun.
And what I liked about it, one, it showcased the nuances of Tim's voice on certain songs, but also the delicacy of some of the songs, and it let you stretch out and play stuff that you couldn't get away with in a full rock production.
100%, yeah.
So what I also like is that your fans went along with it.
Yeah, they're the diehard fans. They loved it.
So talking about the different spins on songs, House on Fire sounded great.
Awesome.
One of my favorite, more recent Rise Against songs.
Thank you.
Savior also, I think it sounds great in any context, but it was nice hearing it in that context. And then songs like Hero of War and People Live Here came across really great. That was
super fun. It's cool to add the strings to like those songs. Yeah.
How much preparation was involved?
You know what? Quite a bit, because it's easy to play fast and loud for us because we've been doing it for 20 years. That was like a new animal, like tackling like a new beast there. And we rehearsed for like a week, which is way longer than we ever rehearse. And just to get it right, but not come off cheesy. You know?
Yeah.
So I think it came out pretty good.
And you just said something. 20 years.
Yeah, it's our 20th anniversary this year.
So when you take stock, when you take inventory of everything that's happened over 20 years, what do you think of? What comes to mind?
You know what I think of? I think about when 88 Fingers Louie broke up at that time, and it's like new band time, and I wasn't sure if I was up for the task of starting a new band, and everyone was like, "Oh, I don't know if this is gonna work with you." And Tim kind of came from a different crew, you know, and it was very high school. Like, "Oh, it's not gonna work. You're with him, and he's with you." You know, like
you sit at different lunch tables.
Yeah, 100%. And then I think that's why it's worked so well. Like it's like we kind of complement each other and the sound, and it's been a crazy ride, you know. And
I think it's fair to say the sound has evolved over 20 years, significantly so. I would say you're writing some of the best stuff you've ever written now.
Thank you so much.
I mean, the last album I thought was stunning.
It's definitely difficult. Every record becomes more difficult because you're like, oh, I already wrote that like 10 years ago, you know. So, but it's hard to keep it fresh, but we love it.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Anti-Flag yesterday. Heading into an election year, do you have people say, "Rise Against, we need you now more than ever"?
Yes. And I think, you know, there's added pressure, but we don't want to force anything.
Right.
We write what we write. You know, Tim writes lyrically whatever he's feeling, so you can't force it.
And how's the partnership? I mean, how do you two work together?
You know, it's crazy. Like, it's for all of our little idiosyncrasies or whatever you want to call it. That's the one thing, we're always on the same page when we write. I can kind of guess what chord he's about to go to, and same with me. Like, it's just we have this like unspoken chemistry musically, and it's always been really easy. That's
a gift to musicians when you find someone who you can work with like that.
Yeah,
it's a rare and wonderful thing.
I mean, some of my favorite bands have the team of songwriters like Bad Religion, Anti-Flag, you know, Hot Water Music. So I'm glad Tim and I have that like bond, you know.
Were you here yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say those two bands were can't misses.
Oh man, yesterday was amazing. I was the most blown away by Ranted. They're one of my favorite bands, and they were so tight.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Of course they were. If you don't mind, can we go through some of your catalog, and I want to get first impressions if I name some songs?
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote down a few songs. Voices Off Camera.
Voices Off Camera.
This is an old song.
It's an old song. It was off our second record. I wrote that song. To me, it was more of like our intricate, it's kind of a metally intro, and I like it because Tim, his approach to singing it was like a lower register for him singing, and I always thought that was a cool side of us because it makes it a little bit more dark and kind of creepy feel almost. So it always stuck out to me because we weren't doing that back then.
Let's talk about something more recent. Let's talk about The Violence.
The Violence actually came about. Tim had the riff, the verse, and it was super simple. And he was kind of like iffy about it. He wasn't sure like if we wanted to like actually use it. And then we just did it. And sometimes simple is the way to go.
Yeah, it's easy to overthink stuff.
Yeah.
But that one completely paid off.
I mean, look at Tom Petty. He's the best songwriter, and it's so simple.
It's funny you should mention that. What I think people assume, but maybe don't know about Rise Against, you guys are such music fans. Like when you're not on the road, like there are plenty of Joe and Tim spottings around Chicago shows.
Absolutely.
Like you're not just, I guess counting your Rise Against money in your Rise Against cave. You're actually still in it, going and supporting music.
I mean, even like that was like a year ago, but I went to go see Zeke at Reggie's, and there was 30 people there, and I was just hanging out.
Yeah.
I love live music, and I still love it in a punk rock setting where it's a small venue and that intimate vibe. I love that still.
All right, let's keep going down the songs here. Let's talk about one of the big ones. Let's talk about Savior.
Savior, not like what's funny about Savior is Tim and I wanted to pull it off the record because at the time we had so many songs. And we weren't sure about that, the song.
Really?
And everyone was like, you guys are fucking crazy. Like, you have to leave it on the record.
Fucking crazy.
And, I mean, little did we know, it was our biggest single.
Yeah, it was so great. All right, how about The Approaching Curve? This, to me, is a really different sounding song for the band.
Yeah.
It's that spoken word element.
Tim had this idea, and I can't remember what inspired the idea behind the spoken word verse, but I wrote the music, and he came up with that idea with the spoken word. And it's something we've never been able to play live because talking it and playing guitar, it's always been like kind of hard.
Is that kind of like chewing gum and rubbing your stomach at the same time, that kind of thing?
To a certain extent, it's hard to like. So we've always talked about having a guest like vocalist come in and do that part while we play it live, and it's just never come to fruition.
Well, when you do the album play years from now.
Yes.
You have to figure that out.
Like I will recruit Tim Armstrong to do that part.
That done. Sold. All right, let's move on to. I swear to God, I heard this when I pulled up to Riot Fest this morning. I heard this in Soundcheck, which I came to learn wasn't you actually performing it, but the song "Satellite."
Yep, our front of house guy uses recordings of us from rehearsal to get line levels for the PA, and it really helps them. If we're not there, that's the next best thing.
Such a great song.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Re-Education Through Labor.
That song.
To me was an unlikely radio song.
Yeah, I mean it was different for us, and we for me personally, it was a little bit outside my comfort zone when we start playing it. Tim wrote that song, and it's super fun to play live. It gets the crowd bouncing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice break from fast punk rock songs. It's a cool thing to play live.
Far From Perfect.
Oh,
this to me is, this is a song that strikes an emotional chord with everybody. Anyone who's ever dealt with shit, wrestled with their own self-image. I mean, this is, I'm speaking more to Tim's contribution to this, but what a song.
That song, musically, that was one of my songs that was inspired very heavily by Avail and the way they would play their bass. It was all bass chords. And I love that side of us. I love it's not a political song. It's a very honest song, about human nature.
So the last couple times you've played in Chicago, you played the Chicago Theater, You played Wrigley Field. Are you strictly just playing iconic Chicago places from now on?
Yep, that's it. Like we won't deviate.
Like the Art Institute would be next, or something.
Totally. The Willis Tower, the top of it.
I think that's been done. I think Local H did that.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh man.
Or they at least shot a video up there.
Oh, it's so good.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so what's the approach? You're playing 7 p.m. hour tonight. It's day 2 of Riot Fest. Do you do anything different for a festival show, knowing that maybe it's not entirely Rise Against people in the crowd?
Yeah, I think, one, we try to hit every one of our records, pull a song off that. It's hard because we're on 8 records now, which is crazy.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're very lucky. We had a really crazy career, like a successful career. But for me, it's about maintaining the energy all the way through. Because if you're not a Rise Against fan, if there's energy coming from the stage, people are gonna pay attention to it. So, keep that intact.
All right, so now we're about 2 years since the last full length. New music?
It's in its infant stages, but yeah, it's coming. It's coming, yeah.
Joe, I adore you and I adore your band.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for hanging out. Can't wait to see you again tonight.
Thanks so much.